So next up on my list of most anticipated Transformers coming out this year is Deluxe Class Ironhide. Yes, Deluxe Class. I really liked Ironhide as a character, both in the movie and in Generation 1. And I like his Voyager class toys, both in the 2007 line and in the ROTF line as well, with Recon Ironhide. And here is the in-box view of him. And here is the robot mode. Now, I do have some reservations about the robot mode, either from the angle they're taking this picture or the way they transformed him or whatnot. The arms look a little bit short and stubby as compared to the rest of his body. And somehow his head looks a little bit scrunched in. I know that's the same way he is in his Voyager class mode, but somehow it just looks kind of like he's hunched down a little more. I'm not sure. But it just looks a little strange to me. But I'm going to pick him up anyways because this is Ironhide and he's one of my favorite Transformers. Now the other interesting design note is these parts here, like his hands, his chest section here, his legs, and some of his feet. While that on camera may appear to be a white color, it actually in the picture looks to be a slightly blue colored, almost like a light blue color. So I don't know how that's going to turn out and how I'm going to feel about that once I get to the actual figure. But you know, nonetheless, this is anticipated by me because it is, after all, Ironhide, and he's had much success in his Voyager class implementation. So I'm hoping for the best here. And it looks like he has a little buddy with him here. And here is his picture of him in his alt mode. And the one thing I noticed about the alt mode that maybe I won't like so much is the tires here are kind of a chocolate brown color. Even the rims are that color. I don't know, maybe they were thinking he's off-road and to be covered with mud, maybe. I just would have liked that to be a different color, especially though the tires themselves should be black, I would think. But anyhow, there's that kind of slight issue, I guess. And then there's this undercarriage kibble you see here and here. You know, Deluxe Class Ratchet suffers from the same thing, but I think I can live with this in Ironhide, with Ironhide. So we'll see how it is. I'm looking forward to at least doing a review of it and seeing how it actually appears once it's released in retail stores. So the next item on my list of most anticipated Transformer releases. This is apparently a deluxe class in the Generations line called Darkmount, and as you can see, it is a triple changer. And it's got the robot mode on the left. In the middle, it's got some kind of base mode, I guess, and on the top right, it's got a tank mode. And this is Wave 2, so we don't really have a lot of information about it except for this kind of preview shot that they did at one of the I guess it was Toy Fair 2010. So this is pretty much all I can find as far as images of this toy, and these look like they're actually just artist conceptions, possibly. Kind of looks like it might not be the actual toy, but if the actual toy turns out anything like this, it's going to be pretty cool. It is a deluxe size, so it's going to be interesting to see how they carry on the transformation process. If it turns out to be really good, I'm probably going to be wishing that they made it into a Voyager class size, but we'll see how it goes. As we get more information and images, I think we'll know a little bit more. But just from these shots alone, I would say this is one of my most anticipated Transformers coming up in this year, probably more later this year because this is Wave 2. And you get another Wave 2 figure from, I believe, the Transformers Generations line. You can see there's the word Deluxe there in the shot, so apparently it's going to be a deluxe size Transformer. Here again, looks like it's going to be a cool Transformer. We've got a pretty good looking robot mode and a pretty good looking alt mode. The nice thing about it, though, is it's not a repaint or retool of a Transformer we've seen before, even though it looks similar. Like, it kind of looks similar to Universe, I want to say Drop Shot, but you'll know what I mean. But it's not the actual same mold, which is nice. It's a deluxe class figure, so really looking nice. I like this for the same reason I like Bludgeon, for the same reason I like Leader Class Brawl from the 2007 Transformers movie line. Just I like the tank mode look. It definitely looks pretty cool, and definitely makes my top 10 most anticipated Transformers list. So, some good news for those of you who held off from buying the Takara MasterPiece Grimlock a couple years ago when it was released. The good news is that ToysRUs is planning to release MasterPiece Grimlock as a ToysRUs exclusive here in the States. Now, if you recall, I believe the price for the Takara MasterPiece Grimlock was around $120, plus I believe you had to pay overseas shipping in most cases because it was kind of a Japan import. So, good news for us who waited and held off from buying the Takara one. Now, the pricing, I believe, is going to be around $70, and the reason I say that is I've looked up online, and apparently in the Canadian ToysRUs system it's listed at about $70, so I'm guessing it's going to be around the same for us here in the US. It's my understanding, though, that the ToysRUs exclusive Grimlock is going to not include some of the features that it did with the Takara release. Now, I'm fine as long as they, the original figure itself, Grimlock is the same, and as long as they include what's shown here, which is the sword and the double-barreled blaster, as long as they include that, I'm going to be pretty happy, because it looks like it's going to be a really nice Grimlock. And definitely, being a Generation 1 fan and having the Generation 1 Grimlock, I'm really, really excited about this. Really looking forward to this. And I don't know, I haven't seen very much recent news as to when this is actually going to be released. And I guess the only downside about it is it is a ToysRUs exclusive. And having recently just hunted down animated RC, I know how difficult it can be to find an exclusive, store exclusive item. So definitely be on the lookout for any news regarding when this actually is going to be released in stores. So if you can get a hold of it, it's going to be awesome. And last but certainly not least on my list comes from the Core Combiners line, Smolder with Chopster. Now here is a view of Smolder on the right with his smaller counterpart Chopster on the left. Really like the design elements with Chopster because he has this orange, yellowish, translucent plastic throughout most of his main body, and really kind of seems like it's a flame type of effect, which is appropriate since we've got a fire truck and a flame together. It seems kind of appropriate and really nice, design details there. The other nice thing about the Chopster, the smaller robot, is he can transform into this little gun type of weapon and can be placed on top of Smolder in his alt mode. Now, the other thing about Chopster, and unfortunately there's not a picture here of it, but this Chopster can also transform, yes, he's a triple changer, he can transform into an axe, which can be placed into Smolder's hand in his robot mode. Now this is really a nice idea because it does have similarities with the Generation 1 Transformers line called the Target Masters line, where small robots would transform into weapons that could be held by the larger robot, and they kind of form a team. So I really like that Generation 1 idea being present in this Core Combiners lineup. So that does it for my top 10 most anticipated Transformers. What I'd like from you guys, my viewers, is to leave your top 10, or it can even be top 5 if you want, most anticipated Transformers that are going to be released soon or later this year. But it's definitely a good time to be a Transformers fan, and thanks for watching.